Welcome back in, everybody. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy, brought to you by Paso Robles Golf Club in the heart of wine country. Multi-million-dollar renovated golf course and facilities, PasoRoblesGolfClub.com, 805-238-4722 for tee times, or PasoRoblesGolfClub.com. We were just talking, or listening to Billy and Jim talking about TNT, so we're going to let you guys continue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but Jim, I really appreciate you being here. And Nikki, how are you doing over there? You okay?
I'm doing great.
So,
listening in.
I've been for the last bunch of months, and ever since we spent some time with the girls over, and you invited me to come over, and I thank you for that. Yeah. It's been so cool that you send me texts almost once a week of how this has impacted your students and your not only your kids but your adult students and you. And so it's really cool to see that, and it actually brings pride to and melts my heart when I see it. But I also noticed you're really taking this to a really cool level, and that email you sent out with your bullets was very cool.
Thank you.
Because you're really, and that's your brain. Your brain is that way, and I barely have a brain, so I'm one of these just feel type guys. And I mean that in a, I'm not stupid. I don't mean it by that.
You're not.
But I less is more, and especially in my life, that's the way I live things.
No, it's good.
But I did, when you were talking about the front arm, and the leading arm is the target arm. If you're right-handed, it's your left arm. And that's really a tempo controller. And we were stopping about swing speeds. And the truth is, if you put that club into most people's hands and you ask them to just hit a ball, I've had 19 people lined up in a clinic, and 18 of them missed the ball the first time.
That happens every single time.
Almost everybody. Yeah. There's always one that will top it a little bit. But all of them whiff. And then we chuckle, and it's okay, that's fun.
I've seen it a lot.
So then by the end of it, we put that same drill, and you've got 16 or 18, or even all of them are hitting it. And it's a discovery motion, because most people miss because it's their weaker hand, they're tentative, they take it back kind of slower than they probably should, and then they try to pull and get the speed on the way down. So when that happens, you're right. That changes the angle. The club head raises up. It takes that 60 inches you mentioned and makes it to 58 inches. There's a top or a miss. And then the funny part, I don't know if it's funny, but common sense would say, well, I got to slow down. But the truth is they're slowing the wrong side.
Yeah, they go they backwards.
So it's hard to go from fast to faster. And it's also really hard almost to take the club back too fast. Now, it used to be takeaway was what we used to call the golf swing years ago. Now they call it back swing. Those terms have kind of changed, because takeaway, we took the club away, and now we're swinging the club away. So either if you look at old books, you'll see takeaway. Yeah. Modern swing, they say swing, back swing. Right. But the takeaway, if you think of it in one hand, and the listeners, and I know this, I'm just saying it from my point of view.
I love it. No.
But the backswing needs to be animated, not deliberate, not too slow. So if you went back, and if you pick 100 is so fast, you will hurt yourself, and zeros, you're not moving at all. 80 or something going back, animated, if you go back with that, you'll get, not only that, your body turns with it. It's almost impossible not to. Yeah. And then you come down almost at zero. If you passed out at the top of the swing, the club would fall down. If you stretch the rubber band, if you stretch the rubber band and let it go, it snaps back, right? If you throw a club up in the air, it falls back down. So the club will come down without any help at all, right? So the reason I mentioned you have to hold on to it's because it's like the rope of a swing set. If it has to return to where it started from, right? So if you just let go of it, the club isn't going to come back to where it started from. But that's
a good way to say it.
But when I mention people just let it fall or feel it fall the whole time, and like, oh, I felt that. If you're aware of where the club head is, and all the best players in the world, I know for a fact they can feel their club head. They know where it is almost the entire time. In order that, and even Mike, right? When you play, Dickie, you feel your club head when you're swinging. Mm-hmm. I mean, they all do, and it's just always, but if you pull fast, you lose that sensation of the club head. So you feel the grip or the top part of the shaft. But if you let it fall and you let the club head return, it's going faster than it left. Right?
Yeah, that's the weirdest thing.
So that's where it accelerates.
Right.
So then when you kick it with the other hand in the knee, that slingshots the speed. Big time. Now you've got like a roller coaster at the bottom of a curve that whips around and just picks up speed. So that hand will help you increase speed as well. So speed comes from that rotation and that kick, and the club has to pick up speed by falling down. So by letting it fall, right? Resistance and gravity, if you will. So that's what's amazing. Most people are like, oh my God, and that's what you have all these students.
OMG every day.
And in your left-handed swing, because you built your right-handed swing probably with a takeaway, and all these years of when we learned to play golf. But that other way, you got to feel something that's brand new, which is enlightening, because that's what almost all your new students have to learn to feel that. So you had hey, I felt that.
When we would do
stuff,
clinics together, Billy and I always found it interesting, and I don't know if you remember, Bill, if this ever changed, but I remember after doing a clinics with you long enough, I was always really strong with my right side. Like when we would do the clinics, you would just sit there and be doing, you're left-handed, you're doing your right arm, one-handed, 6 irons, just during the class, and everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And I
I could
learned,
play pretty good with that.
and I learned how to do my right. Like I could sit there with my right hand, and my swing was really timing-based, super timing-based.
And you could hit it probably
And
pretty far, right?
And so it was kind of like the yin and the yang.
I was tempo, he was timing.
That's
In our,
interesting.
I was a
didn't notice
dog.
that.
I was a dog. He was the pony.
Thank you.
And it wasn't that Billy can still hit with his left hand just as good as his right, but I was never strong with my left hand and my left arm and my left side on the tempo. I could do it, but I've never been anywhere near where he is. Billy's tempo is absolutely flawless. You know, that's why when you watch him hit,
I don't know about that.
when you watch him swing a driver, he doesn't miss. You know, the longest club in the bag, he doesn't miss. His timing or his tempo is on. It's on all the time, all the time. And so it's like, yeah, it is.
Not, but
and so it's fascinating when we talk about this because I have all these flashbacks because Billy and I've we did that for a long time. I mean, and even now as he's going through it, and I can still picture being out there on the range, and it was just the spiel, and it was so built in. Like I watched him do it, then I got the opportunity to mentor with him and do it with him. And then, like you said, it became kind of the dog and pony show, but it was real. It's a real dog and pony show. It's not.
Yeah, we always took our teaching.
Not smoke and mirrors.
No,
we've always took our instructions seriously, Jim. We just done it with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny, and this is not that you did anything wrong, but I want to bring up kind of how we got to where we got, because my class and all my kids, I've always taught them that 80-20. And then in your instruction, it was more of a 20-80.
Right, it was.
So you were, right? So they came to me and like, I'm so confused because you're both great teachers. So what is it, 80-20? We meant the same thing, but we said it differently. Right. So because I don't believe that you'd accelerate on the downswing, I'm talking about the front arm. I don't believe it pulls down. I don't think that goes quicker.
It doesn't.
I know. It doesn't. So,
thank you, Billy.
But most do. They really pull that arm down, and then they top it, and it's tops. And then the first thing was I looked up. That's not true. Tops aren't caused because someone looks up. Almost never. I'm sure it's possible. But Annika Sorenstam and David Duvall were pretty good players, and their heads were up at impact. So they had great timing. Matter of fact, their timing was impeccable, and that's that.
You know what I think that is?
Knee in there. They have to come up.
And I'm sorry to interrupt. I think that so many people think that the pulling of the lead arm down is what they should do.
Yeah.
That's actually what pulls their head out of position in their spine.
Sure.
If you think of the motion that a body makes.
It's so fast that you don't have time to kick the knee or rotate.
Right.
Right. So that is a pull-up.
It stops the knee.
It stops
So
the
what
knee.
they're feeling,
the enemy.
their head
the
head is going upward, but part of the reason it's going upward is because they're taking that physical motion and they're trying to pull it with the hand, and they're going like this, and then they start moving backwards.
Unless they timed
go up.
Unless they timed it with that leg drive that
Well,
Nick Palmer, that those guys used to, or Johnny Miller.
But
and
not
Nick,
many people can do
right,
that.
and that's why they kept posture because
Right.
they could drive those legs. And you remember Jerry Pate, who had was it Jerry Pate, the big C?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Giants, the big C. Was that I'm thinking of? Well, that's because his leg, kept his head back and his legs drove and everything.
Forward, yeah.
So, but and now the modern is not as much, but it all means the same thing. But that too fast down left arm is the enemy of so many things.
It's the enemy. I'm concluding today. It's the enemy.
So it's neat that you've taken this, and I know you've had success. Obviously, your girls were proven success as they really did great. And I interrupted your story, but they came up to they made the CIF or something, right? And your team do really well.
Well, yeah, I'm thinking. I brought out adults, and I was in charge of the four caddies. I asked Mike and you guys. I think I've both said, where do I put the four caddies? I'm scared to death. We're not going to make it in by dark. It's 12:30 tee off. Because I have 17 volunteers.
Yeah.
I have all I'm doing is focusing on them because I'm afraid. The girls are going to shoot a lot of numbers.
So that fixed it. So they're still keeping it in play. Is what you're saying?
I told them to hook it in the van. I said, you know how to hook it left. Hook it left all day. I don't want to see anybody in that water.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm for caddy, and I'm watching coaches and stuff. I'm scared to watch my girls. They're going to be in the water all day. I see lots of people, coaches helping people out of the water. We get done, 5:45, 545 is the cut. No one in our league makes it. I see these scores 590, 600, 570. I see a 570. That's the lowest. And let's go home, girls. So I'm thinking.
That was you.
Well, we're fourth place. We're going to shoot 600.
Yeah.
525.
Ah.
Wow.
It was a beautiful moment. It was one of the most beautiful moments in girls golf I've had. One of them. And I said to the girls, okay, how many balls did you lose? Because that's the whole goal, right? So I asked everybody. The last two players, the fifth and sixth says 2, and the fifth says 1, and 0 across the board.
Wow.
It was the most amazing moment.
That is very cool.
Because of timing.
But yeah,
timing.
and it's self-discovery. I mean, I think we could say it. We're saying it on the air. So I mean, there's no one really learning anything right now, listening, unless they go and experiment and explore this.
True.
But it really is a way to learn it fast, and it's neat because not only your kids are getting better. I'm getting texts that you've had students you've worked with, and it's just a new awareness. Is all it is. It's a whole different awareness.
So that we got to cut off top of the hour. So you guys listen to Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy in the studio with us. Jim Delaby, PGA professional. Also Nikki Anderson, realtor, amateur golfer extraordinaire, tournament golfer.
Did you know Arnold Palmer liked bologna?
We talked about that. I think there is a commercial with him on that.
He liked bologna. I think you might be right, Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, we're going to find it.
Just another little known fact about Mr. Palmer.
Nice. We'll be right back. Golf Talk Radio with Mike and Billy. Stay right with us.